Hello, it is I, Johnny Nashi the Great, funded futures trader extraordinaire and master sensei of the Free Them Nation. Look at all them people I freed from the normie lifestyle. And today we're going to get into part 2 of this simplified rating system for you to be able to compare your content creator, educator, guru is what they're compare it to what a college is offering. You know, you can go to school to learn how to trade at a university. Just saying. Okay, so let's get into this part 2. Okay, in this section, we're going to go over what are the tools, what they mean, and why they have to be in the curriculum as a protocol, as a must-have. Why must it be there? We're going to go over that so that you will know if you're wasting your time watching some BS that's not going to help you become a profitable trader, or if you're actually on the right path, or if you should actually charge back your credit card once you find out that the program does not have or meet these criteria. This little paper here, which will be downloaded for free in the description, will help you with a number system so that you can grade the content in which you're watching. You should not waste your time, effort, sitting in front of content that is not going to help you get to the overall goal. Okay, now let's zoom in on this. We're going to go back over here to the education curriculum protocol section. Okay, and as you see here, the first one is called learning objective. Okay, now in the learning objective, that is the section when you show up to school or when your parents are overlooking this in a pamphlet or a document or talking to a counselor, they have to show them this stuff. They have to say, this is what your child's going to learn. Give us $30,000 a year. The parent says, oh man, $30,000. I don't know. But then once they convince the parent that it's not a cost and an investment in the child's future, they say, okay, well, $22,000. Okay, that's $2,000 a month. They start doing the math. They say, okay, I'll pay $22,000 for little Timmy. It's $2,000 a month. I'll make it happen for little Timmy to be able to get a degree and become a trader on Wall Street, work in the finance department of JP Morgan or something like that. It makes sense, right? Okay. So the learning objective is just that. What are you going to learn and what is the objective of you learning that? Okay. So for trading, are you going to learn, I don't know, price action? And then what's the objective once you learn price action? Okay. If this is in the course, you put a check mark and then the speed score, make sure you put that and it's a +1. If it's not, you're going to put an X. Now to grade it, if that is available in the course, you're going to come over here. You're going to put a check mark. Say, yes, it is available. Then you're going to put a speed score here, right where it says speed score. You're going to put a +1. Remember, everything is +1. Go back and watch the first video so you know exactly how to use this. And then this will be the last time I say this so we can shoot through this video quickly. Then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put the educator, podcaster, forum, school, whatever website in here, their name. And then you're going to put a score. If they did have the objective and the learning, what you're going to be learning, you put a +1, okay? We have to know where we're going. Next, you have course content and structure with checks. This simply means the course must be structured, okay? You can't be able to jump all over the place and you know what? I'm going to learn how to do heart surgery today. And then 3 weeks later, I see that it's available. So I'm going to go look at the brain surgery. Yeah, because I want to be an all-out surgeon on the complete body. And then you know what else I'm going to do? Now I'm going to learn how to, work on intestines. There has to be structure and a checklist of structure, right? So if we're working on broken bones, that's what we're working on, broken bones. until we master broken bones, and each step that broken bones has, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, then we can move on to maybe brain surgery. Now, I know this is an analogy I'm using, so take it tongue in cheek, please. Yeah? Don't get all weird on me in the comments. Okay? So there has to be a checklist. You can't just open up the book for medicine and just decide you want to go wherever you want to go. There must be structure in the education, or the student will get lost and they will not be able to understand what it is they need to understand and accomplish what they need to accomplish. So course content and structure with checks, meaning once that's done, check, we move to the next thing. Check, we move to the next thing. And you cannot move down until you've accomplished what you were supposed to learn. So there's no hopping all over the place. So if you're in a trading course and they give you the course and you can just go from 1 to chapter 2 to chapter 9 and then go look at the trading strategy at the end, this gets a 0. Okay. You've already, it's not structured. Okay. It doesn't abide with the course content and structured checklist. Structure means you're not allowed to do whatever you want to do. You do what the instructor told you to do. If the instructor cares. Next, we have assignment and assessment. Assignment and assessment. This is where, in college, you get homework. Yeah? And then the professor has to assess it, right? Which is grading the homework. He has to overlook it and read your papers and make sure that you're actually understanding what he is teaching. This is how he not only grades himself, but he grades the advancement of the person who is trying to obtain the knowledge that he's giving or she is giving. That makes sense? So if you buy a trading course and there's no homework and no one to grade your homework, well, then it gets an X and it gets a -1 point. Okay, it doesn't get a check and it gets a -1 on the speed score. Does that make sense? And this is not just for a course. This is for a podcast. This is for a YouTube guy giving you some YouTube game. Okay, next we have VARKS. For those of us who are educators, which I am an educator, I've been an educator for 9 years in martial arts, been teaching and training people, so I understand what this term is. And for those of you who don't know, let me break it down. V stands for visual learners. A stands for audio learners, people who learn through their ears. R stands for reading and writing. K stands for kinesthetics, and the S is new. I didn't even know about that one. Okay? I didn't know about it until I went and looked it up on the University of Harvard. Harvard added an S to it. And the S stands for social collaborations. Okay? Social projects, understanding how other people think. So let's break it down. There are people who learn visually. But did you know less than 1% of human beings can learn visually? Meaning, I can watch you do a heart surgery on somebody, and then 5 minutes later, I can do it too. Just like you, maybe with a few pointers, and I can do it too. That's a visual learner. It's probably why 94% of you guys buy these courses and you fail. Because you're trying to watch the doctor do the heart surgery, and then you go to the market and get completely wrecked because you're trying to learn visually. Well, now you have that data and you know that you're probably not a visual learner. And shout out to those people who are visual learners. Okay? Hoorah for you. But just having one is not enough. And that's why they have this acronym, VARKS. Okay, let's get into the next one, which is A. That stands for audio. Audio learners. There are people who learn through their ears. They don't need to read or see. Okay? They can learn through their ears. There was a program when I was a kid. It was called Schoolhouse Rock. This is how I learned my multiplication. And to this day, I do believe I still can recall a song. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Okay? That's audio learning. I can learn through my ears. I can listen to something while I'm doing dishes or something, and I can obtain it and remember it well, especially if it has a rhythm to it. That's an audio learner. I know that I am an audio learner. The next one is going to be reading and writing. Does your course come with a textbook for you to read? And do you have to write essays, homework, assignments where you physically need to do something? Next is kinesthetic. Okay. Have you ever met somebody or known a friend, a brother, a dad, a partner, a lover who could just go to IKEA, buy a complete set, just chuck the instructions because they're worthless anyway, right? Would you agree? They're worthless. They're probably in another language. Chuck it, and then in an hour, he's put it all together just by touching it and feeling it and looking at things. These are called kinesthetic learners. They learn from touching and doing. They learn from putting effort into, okay, with physical touch or virtual reality, okay? Kinesthetic learners. And last but not least, social, which is the new one from Harvard. They want you to be able to collaborate in a group and be able to come up with a concept and come up with being able to understand the other side's part of whatever the program or curriculum or whatever the teacher is asking. The social aspect of collaborating with different groups and different mindsets and getting that one common goal set and accomplished with a group of people, which I think is great because a lot of the kids today, they don't know how to be social. And it's very weird. I don't know how they're going to survive in this world. Okay. Now, with all of these together, they create the ultimate learning process. VARKS, the ultimate learning process. You can't just have one because we don't learn with just one. Even the visual learner needs a little audio, right? So they all have to be present. I could see why the University of Columbia and Harvard would use this acronym and every other school would use it. So if you're in a training course and they don't have your visual learning down, they don't have your audio, they don't have your reading and writing, they don't have the kinesthetics, and they don't have the system where you are collaborating with multiple different people who may not see eye to eye on what you believe, and you're accomplishing a common goal together, then the social's not there either, and you don't really have a program, and that would be a -1 across the board. It doesn't get a check. It has to have those aspects for that to be true. Cannot just have one. You cannot just have two. You have to have all of them. Next, reading material and study guide resources. Does your training course come with a book? Yes? No? Maybe so. Probably not. And you didn't even say anything about it because you were, oh gosh, gosh. That's you. You trying to learn through visual. You don't even got the book. You got no book. Okay? Does it come with reading materials? Right? Because you got to be able to, what's the R? Reading and writing, right? Yeah. I mean, these people are pretty smart. They put this together for the education system, for the elites. Harvard's an elite school, by the way. If you're watching this, you're not in America. It's top notch. Okay. So, our study guide, is there a study guide that comes with it? You study, ask you questions, you answer the questions. No study guide, -1 on that. Okay. Resources for learning. Next is strategically structured experiential learning experience. That was a mouthful. Okay. Now, I ain't that smart, but I kind of feel like, I'm going to say what it is. Pretty much when you break those down, that means deliberate practice. Okay. You show up to go learn how to play the piano or the saxophone or the guitar. You're a piano teacher. You're paying them to look over your shoulder and say, don't do that. And they hit you with the, and they hit you with the, with the ruler every time you put your hands the wrong way until you get it exactly right. And then they have you do drills like a scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, 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 do. Why? Because that's the fundamentals of learning how to play the piano from my education. So I say that tongue in cheek. I could be wrong. but they give you some practice. You don't just go on there and today we're playing Beethoven. Yeah. No, you're not playing Beethoven. You don't even know the scales. We need to do the scales, learn them this way. Okay, now you need to learn them backwards. You learned the board, now learn them backwards. Now we're going to put you on a timer. Let's get faster. Let's get faster. That's deliberate practice drills until you master one thing. That's what this means. Strategically structured. Okay, meaning you're in a tight box and it's strategically put together. Experiential means you're experiencing it. You're not watching it. You're not passively learning. Like, oh, yeah, that's a trading strategy on YouTube. It says it's got 92% win rate. Embarrassed. I think I'll go to the market with real money and try it. Oh, bro, go for it. Okay? That's you. Experiential. You need to experience it. The drills. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Then backwards. Then speed. Do, 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 do. Do you get it? I hope you do. Okay, moving forward. The next one we have on the list is grading system. If you open up your trading course and there's no system to where you give your mentor who you gave $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000, $500, $300, $750 a month for a trade room, if there's nowhere for them to grade your work and they don't have a system on why they would give you an A or a B, that's a dub. Oh, sorry. In New York, a dub means a loss. That means you lose. Okay? That's not good. It's bad. Okay? So grading system. Time frame schedule. Time frame schedule is in reference to, at this point in semester 1, you're going to learn X, Y, and Z. Once X, Y, and Z is accomplished and we know that you can move to the next level, then you will go to semester 2. You will get a pass. Okay? That's what time frame scheduling is. If you did not pass semester 1, you will have to do it over again, which means your time frame of your education could change. But the schedule says from X, Y, and Z time, you will learn this, and then the X, Y, and Z time of the next one, you will learn that. I hope that makes sense. It's structured out to where you know what you should be learning at each time frame. Support. Do I have to send my guru an email and it take 5 days for him to get back to me? Or can I just hit him up on the phone, call him, or send him a Voxer or a Telegram, or send him my video on Telegram and he review it quickly and tell me, hey man, he has a problem or she has a problem with the homework. Can this person just reach out to the instructor quickly and get an answer within a reasonable time? This person's down and out, feel like they want to give up. They got beat up in the market. Can they talk to the professor the same way as if you were to go to the Columbia University and you stay after school and you say, hey, professor, I'm not really understanding when you were talking about quantum physics. Could you break that one part down for me where you said, is that allowed? If not, then it's an X and a -1. If it is, kudos to you. But it has to be in reasonable time. None of this 4 or 5 hours. Bro, I trade 1 to 2 hours a day. I have tons of time on my hand. So I don't want to hear anything about no traders. I don't have any time to answer nobody back. Yeah, they do. If they're traders that really make money off of trading, we have tons of time on our hands. So much time, we don't even know what to do with it sometimes. Okay? All right, let's scroll out. Let's go down a little further to the bottom here. Okay, we went through support. Now, policy and expectations. Policy and expectations. What that means is I have a policy. If you do this, and that, and you don't give up, you are going to get this, that, and the third. Okay? For example, with us, when you come and you choose to be tutored by me, we have a policy. We're not going to give up on you as long as you keep trying, and we're going to get you to pass your combine challenge. That is the expectation. Once you pass the combine challenge, you can start getting these, which are payouts. So you're not just doing something blindly. So what's the alternative to that? What is the opposite to that? Well, you buy a course for about $400, $500. It's a lot of money. And you get in there and there is no expectation. You just, oh, I learned a strategy. Yeah, but what did you get? Did you pass a challenge? Are you able to pass a combine challenge? Are you able to take $800 of your own money and put it into an account and double it? What was the objective here? Why was I even watching this? But you got 94% of doors. Goofy. Buying courses with no objectives. With no expectations. It doesn't make sense to me. So did the course have expectations or not? Our expectations are you do what we say you do. You train, you play the video game. By the way, if you like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You play the video game over and over and over until you get good enough and go to the market and get this. There's an end of the road. They never sell you an end of the road because they got a new course. This course. Oh yeah, order blocks. Oh, now supply and demand meets smart money concepts. Oh, next week we got levels. Oh, now we got gaps. And now we got, before you know it, you just spent about $3,500 when it should have just taught you how to read price action. Whoa, don't get me started, boy. I want all the smoke. Leave it in the comments if you ever been duped like this, because I know I have. I ain't gonna front. When I first came in, but I was smart because I'm an educator and I figured out quickly I'm not gonna be able to learn by watching somebody teach me through video. That's passive learning. We need engaged learning, and even better, engaged gamification learning. Hallelujah. Preach. I'm preaching right now, boy. I'm on a pool pit right now. All right, so next we got collaboration learning experience. This is when people get together and collaborate. I give you a project. When I was a kid in school, we had these science projects, and it was the only time we ever went to Staples. And we had to go to Staples and buy these big old whiteboards and you paste stuff on the whiteboard. I don't know if you guys remember that. I could be dating myself. People probably don't do that anymore. And then in the middle, you put it on your desk, and then your science project is in the middle, right? And you work with about 5 of your best friends because you didn't want to work with anybody you didn't like. And it was like 3 or 4 of your best friends, and maybe you made a house out of Legos, or maybe you made some putty, you know what I'm saying, out of some household chemicals. Whatever it was, you had to have a hypothesis and a conclusion at the end, right? This is what they're talking about, okay? Collaboration learning. Give you a project. I set you up with 2 or 3 people that's within the group, and you guys work together on that project and collaborate. And then you present your project to the instructor. If this is not in your trading course, you know what to do. Hit it with the Zorro. X it out. -1. Okay? All right. Next is going to be practical, quantitative, and algorithmic trading programming. I saw this at University of Louisiana. Okay, they are now teaching people to code to trade. So if you want an algo created, if you want a quant created, that comes in their education, which I think is brilliant. Because I'm sorry, but with the way the market's moving, you need to be a hybrid. You just being a regular human is not going to cut it, because the markets are getting more and more and more and more efficient on how to take your money. Take your money. Okay. And so you will need things to be created to keep you out of your fields. Does that make sense? And so I had to add this. This was one of the things I didn't have. So I added it to our education and my tutoring. It is in there. Okay, where I'm going to teach you exactly how to build ATMs, automatic trading strategies, which I use. Go watch all of my videos. That's all I use. I am a hybrid. I am a cyborg, okay, on these charts. I'm other, not trading just by me. When I got technology and algorithmic trading strategy with technology, get out of here. So they teach you how to program indicators and all that stuff. Now, if your course is not teaching you this type of stuff, you know what to do. Exit out and -1. Okay. I'm not going to go over how to operate the chart. You already know, but stay tuned for the version that I will be uploading soon. We have an Excel spreadsheet programmer working on it as we speak, to where you just put in the numbers and then press calculate, and it'll do it all for you. You won't have to print this out and put it on your desk. and check things off. It'll do it all for you. It'll give you a score, tell you how long it's going to take you to start making money to where you can quit your job. It's going to tell you if the program is worth it, if you should charge back your card on this person and shouldn't even buy the program. In my opinion, guys, it doesn't cost us money to build this stuff. It doesn't cost these gurus money to build this stuff. So if it's good and it's supposedly going to help you, then why don't they just give it to you for free? Why don't you guys tell them that? Like, hey, why don't you just give me the course for free? If you say it's going to make money, I'll give you the money on the back end. But you don't, because you're dollars. Anyways, remember, if you want to do it, take your time, do it right. You can do it. You can get your money right. It is I, Johnny Hakinashi, funded futures trader extraordinaire, leader, and master sensei of the Freedom Nation and all these people who get payouts from prop firms as money managers, freeing the people from the normie life and the 9 to 5.